The $70 price point for gaming has been a widely discussed topic basically since it was introduced on the run-up to the release of the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. Sony really made it known that they were going to have their big first-party titles be $70, and third parties were also kind of straddling the line there, some still coming out at $60, others like sports games even going for that $70 price point. And while people do kind of align it with Sony because of their first party stuff, you do see third parties drop it on the Xbox, but not the Switch. In fact, Nintendo has stuck with that $60 price point, at least up until now. And for first party games, it seems like they're still kind of sticking with it. But I figured at some point, someone would take a shot at $70. And we theorized a few ways it would be possible. And it looks like one of those has come true because, yes, we do have a $70 game that has now randomly dropped on the eShop. We'll take a look at that here today. Guys, if you enjoy these videos, make sure to hit that like button. Helps out a ton. And if you're new here to the SpawnWave Plus channel, make sure you subscribe down below. So I'll give you a moment to just take a guess, unless you, I guess, saw the announcement earlier today, because it's certainly not a game I was expecting to show up at $70. It is Skyrim Anniversary Edition. Now, they do have some extra things that they added into this. It's mostly content, to my knowledge, from the Creation Club. So quests, dungeons, bosses, weapons, spells. And a lot of that were pulled from mods that were created for the game. It's $60 normally, either digital or physical, and you can upgrade to the Anniversary Edition if you already own like the baseline Skyrim on the Switch for an additional $20, meaning that technically it would have been an overall cost of $80. So the $70 price is technically a deal. At least that's one of the ways they're trying to go about this to more or less make this more acceptable, I guess, to people. Here's the deal with the $70 price, though. I think we are to the point now where we all look at it and go, if it's a game that you really want, you'll pay $70 for it. Otherwise, you'll kind of hang out and wait for a sale. So I feel like we've worked past the initial shock of, okay, we are moving up $10. The initial confusion as to what's 70 and what's 60 and then what's really worth 50 then, since the 40 has moved up to 50 as well. And we are just saying, you know what, if you want it, buy it. Otherwise, wait for a sale. But I figured Nintendo themselves would eventually get there, and it looks like we're seeing at least this third party, being Bethesda and technically then Microsoft, make a move here to 70 through a way that we had discussed on the Spawncast. Sean was talking about it as well. Mostly that in order to condition people to see the $69.99 price, you kind of present it as a bundle, right? And that's actually a way that people are essentially trying to explain this situation. It's a bundle. It's Skyrim, and then it's also different things from the Creation Club. And it's kind of like a collection. It's like Skyrim plus Creation Club mods, and that's how this is $70 then instead of $60. But that is exactly how I would do it if I was a company looking to condition maybe an install base to recognize a 70 as more normalized. That was how we figured Nintendo might try it, say, with Twilight Princess or Wind Waker, a bundle of games, essentially, that feel like almost full-price games on their own, but then you put them together and it's $70 for both of them. Or you can buy each one for $40. That way making it feel like a deal, even though it is coming in at $10 more than what they've normally had at the suggested retail price. And I'll admit, I do kind of find it funny that it's Skyrim that's going for the $70 price point first here. We've had other bundles on the eShop. Like, I've seen people bring up Pokemon because they have multiple games tied together and it's over $100 or something like that. And then you also get into the games that show up on the eShop with a wealth of downloadable content that's essentially microtransactions tacked on that when you bring it all together adds up to hundreds of dollars. So I get that, but this in essence is a $70 price point for a game on the Switch. I'm curious now, I guess, really how this will do for them, because it's Skyrim Anniversary Edition, and there are big Skyrim fans out there, big Elder Scrolls fans, who may upgrade to this for $20 more. Who knows? Buy it for the first time. I will say, though, it's $50 on other platforms, so it is a little odd that it's $70 here. And the only thing I can think of is because Skyrim never fell in price on the Switch, it's still $60 on the eShop. They had to move up in price somehow, and they just said slap another 10 on it, it'll just be $70. So I'm trying to think when Nintendo would make the jump to 70, because I'll tell you now, they will eventually go up to $70. I'm just trying to think of if it's going to be during this generation or they kick off the next generation with a $70 game. Because you look at Breath of the Wild 2, that's a big game. That's a game that people would legitimately spend $70 or more than that $60 suggested retail price for it. Even like Xenoblade, with how hardcore that fan base is, clearly is buying the collector's edition for more than $60. So maybe a $70 price on that game would have done well enough for them. And I think Nintendo's just trying to figure out how they will do this if, say, this generation isn't ending anytime soon, and they will indeed attempt to extend this for years, because it would be weird to start the generation with $60 games for Nintendo and then midway through they go up to 70. But I mean, if there is that a rumored revision that moves things to 4K, maybe that's how Nintendo tries to sell you on $10 more. But the fact that we're kind of seeing the seal get broken here with a $70 Skyrim Anniversary Edition does make me think that it's just a matter of time until Nintendo themselves try it, or who knows, maybe other third parties like NBA, as an example, is $70 on other platforms. Maybe they eventually move up to 70. I don't think you have to worry about that with something like FIFA, considering they barely support the Switch with their Legacy Edition version, but I guess we'll see. I just thought it was interesting that it was Skyrim that's kind of set that $70 price overall on the Switch. But let me know what you guys think about this one down below, especially if you are someone who was thinking about picking up Skyrim maybe for the first time and saw this Anniversary Edition. Were you surprised to see that it was indeed $70? Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you next time.